Once upon a time, a little boy received a wonderful birthday present. A box containing 25 tin soldiers. Oh, what splendid soldiers! Look at their uniforms!
He arranged them all in a row. They were all exactly alike, except for one. This soldier had only one leg, for he had been made last when the tin was running out. Yet he stood just on the table where the soldiers were placed stood many other toys. But the most charming of all was a little castle made of cardboard.
Before it stood little trees around a piece of mirror that was supposed to represent a lake, and wax swans swam on it and were reflected in it.
But the prettiest thing of all, the little tin soldier stood behind a snuff box where he could see the tiny dancer. She stood on one leg with the...
That would be just the wife for me, thought the tin soldier. But she is far too grand. But he had to see her again. So he lay down at full length behind a snuff box that stood on the table.
When evening came, all the other tin soldiers were put away in their box, and the people of the house went to bed.
Now the toys began to play. They had visiting parties, fought battles, and gave balls.
The tin soldiers rattled in their box, for they wanted to join in, but they could not get the lid off.
The nutcracker turned somersaults, and the slate pencils squeaked on the slate, that the canary...
She remained standing on tiptoe with her arms outstretched. He stood just as steadfast on his one leg.
But there was no snuff in it, no, on a little black goblin. It was a trick box. Tin soldier, keep your eyes to yourself. The tin soldier pretended not to hear. Just you wait until tomorrow! You'll be sorry!
When morning came and the children got up, the tin soldier was placed on the window ledge.
Whether it was the goblin or the draft that did it, I do not know. But suddenly the window flew open.
The soldier fell headfirst from the 3rd floor.
The maid and the little boy came down at once to look for him. Though they came so close they nearly stepped on him, they could not see him.
Where could he have gone? I can't find him anywhere.
If the tin soldier had called out, "Here I am!" they would surely have found him.
But he did not think it proper. Then it began to rain. The drops fell faster and faster, until there was a regular downpour.
By the way, canals like these in the 1800s often served as main waterways for city drainage, where lost toys became part of urban archaeology.
Look, here's a tin soldier. He ought to go for a sail.
So they made a boat out of a newspaper and put the tin soldier in the middle of it.
Away he sailed down the gutter, while the two boys ran beside him, clapping their hands.
But the tin soldier remained steadfast. Not an eyelid did he bat. He looked straight ahead and kept a firm grip on his musket. Suddenly, the boat drifted under a long tunnel that was just as dark as the tin soldier's box.
She picked up the tin soldier between her thumb and finger and took him upstairs. Everyone wanted to see this remarkable...
Have you got a passport? Show me your passport at once!
But the tin soldier kept silent and held his musket tighter than ever. The boat rushed on with the rat close behind.
How he gnashed his teeth and cried out to the sticks and straws, "Stop him! Stop him! He hasn't paid his toll! He hasn't shown his passport!"
But the current grew stronger and stronger. Even before he reached the end of the tunnel, the tin soldier could... At the end of the tunnel, the water of the gutter plunged into a great canal.
He was so close to it now that he could not stop. The boat was filling with water, and the poor
Deeper and deeper sank the boat, and softer grew the paper.
He thought of the pretty little dancer whom he would never see again, and these words rang in his ears.
Then a great fish came along and swallowed him up.
Oh, how dark it was inside the fish. It was even darker than in the tunnel, and much... The fish darted about and made the most dreadful twists and turns. At last it lay still. The light shone quite brightly, and someone cried out, "Well, I never, the tin soldier."
Look! It's the missing tin soldier from the house upstairs!
The fish had been caught, taken to market, sold, and brought into the kitchen, where the cook had cut it open with a large knife. She picked up the tin soldier between her thumb and finger and took him upstairs. Everyone wanted to see this remarkable...
My soldier has come home. Oh, how I've missed him.
But the tin soldier was not at all proud. They set him on the table, and there... Now, wasn't that strange? He saw...
The tin soldier was so deeply moved that he would have liked to weep tin tears, but that would not have been proper.
The tin stood framed in a blaze of light. He felt terribly hot, but whether this was from the...
His bright colors were gone. Whether they had been washed away by his journey or by his sorrow, no one could say.
He looked at the little dancer, and she looked at him. He felt himself melting away, but he...
She blazed up in a flame and was gone.
By the way, tin soldiers were among the most popular toys of the 1800s. Often passed down through generations, and
Of the little dancer, nothing remained but her spangle. And so they stood, side by side, dreaming of a world where they could finally be together.